This is my first webinar and I've been quite nervous about it. I'm making them for free, the first 4 webinars in my life, and I do it to practice, but also because it's the Corona time and because we have had a lot of courses that was cancelled, and this was actually really sad, and many people have also lost the tickets and things like this. So I felt now we can be together like this, and maybe also the new time is more for sharing, who knows. Tonight this webinar will be about how to strengthen the immune system through sound, light, and the breath. Before we will start to share this, I will just read a quote from, we just find it here, from Alfred Smith. He's a professor, physician, and he worked with the chemistry also. Light is a connection of force between 2 energetic systems. That means that now when I'm connecting with you, usually it must be an audience in front of me where I could connect with you and I can feel the energy coming to me, and we will actually create this webinar together. I'm used that the energy is going up and to harvest energy from the audience actually, and they will probably also get something from me. So before we start, I would really like to connect with you energetically, and we will see if we will succeed and see how it feels. So I just close my eyes and try to connect with you out there, and I can see there's a lot of people. Thank you very much for all the interest. Thank you. So there's a lot of energy in the fingertips, so it must be you doing all this energy. Yeah, the immune system. I have not been scared in the coronavirus time because I know how to strengthen my immune system. At least I feel that, you know, all what I will share tonight is my opinion and I'm sharing it. It means that you'll have to sense what is correct for you. And all the time, you're the one that is right, but you can get inspired from what I'm telling you. My challenge is not to go into too many details because I've been writing on a new book and I have a lot of knowledge from that book. So I'm trying to do it short and precise as much as I can. First of all, here, I made a plant here. This is an atom, and an atom is made from the protons and neutrons. And the neutrons are neutral, so they're just giving weight and body for the atom. And around it are the electrons circulating, the minus electrons. So it's an electric system, minus and plus. And why I'm talking about this is because one of the basic things for a strong immune system is that you will have energy. Energy enough to kick out a virus or at least make it a weaker attack or any kind of challenge you have. It means traumas, anything you have. The more energy you have, the better you can manage it. So, and many people are suffering from fatigue these days. So we'll also get into that. And if you will put this, I have heard it from Bruce Lipton, but I know it's also from other scientists. If you would look at an atom under a microscope, you would see that the neutrons, protons and electrons, they are all just pure energy. It's energy structures like electromagnetic fields that's keeping the atom in place. There's nothing else than energy. So we can conclude that we are energy, even if it's hard to understand. Okay, this is a blue, light blue blouse, it might have this color because it has a certain structure. A liver, the liver is would be a liver because it's made of liver cells, and the liver cells can interact with each other because they have a certain matrix, a certain frequency. The same thing with the kidneys, you know. So actually we can communicate with our body through frequency. And that's why the sound can really have a specific impact here. Now we'll go from the atoms and we'll go on to the photons. You know, I've been working for 33 years with a note from heaven. This is a state of singing. You're singing a sound and you keep on singing on one note until you can feel the energy is like just boosting up. You get really hot and you can feel that you can sing very, very long notes and quite loud even, effortlessly. It's like the note is coming down into your body when you sing. So I've been wondering what's actually happening when we do this. We know all that has been doing it know that they get more energy from doing it. Why? Because the body is heated up, and many times people, if we do it at night, can't sleep because the energy is so high and it's like brrr. So I have found an explanation, and that's the photons. And it's also from, and that's also in the book that will come, it's going to be called Heal the Pineal, but this is not a commercial for it because it's not printed yet, but it's soon. So Tesla, I've been studying Tesla, and I love this mixture of the science and the sound and the spiritual path. It has no contradictions. So because frequency is, it's also spiritual, it's also scientific, and it can be measured, and there's no problem here. So photons, Nikola Tesla, he's talked about the photons already in around 1900, and he had this dream that he wanted to support all the world with free energy. And he found the solution. There is an abundance of energy that is tying all the universe together. And this is the photons. It is particles, very tiny particles, that you cannot see them. They are potential energy particles. And the moment they are pulled into an electromagnetic field, like, for example, a human body, they will be activated. And then we're coming back to the Smith, that he said that there will always, the light is only actually activated when the two systems communicating together. So right now I get inspired because I know you're out there. So we are communicating together in a way. So you are giving me something, don't worry, you are there and I can feel you. So this will enlighten you, it will give you energy. If we can be very, very, you know, these persons that can feel that they have, oh, I have so many talents and I have so many potentials, but I never come to use them. And it, you know, you can feel pity for that. And you can also sometimes feel, wow, they're so talented, but some persons will never give it out because they have some kind of trauma, so they have a fear to activate themselves. And if you don't activate your potential, it's like a seed that will never sprout. So we have to manifest ourselves, and we have to dare to connect with each other. There's no love if we're not having this minus plus. Okay, the photons. So Tesla, he found out that you can harvest photons, and he made the Wardenclyffe Tower. I will not go deeper into that, I promise you, I'll try my best. But the Wardenclyffe Tower could pull down the photons and make into electromagnetic field, and he could make an abundance of energy. The Wardenclyffe Tower was able, according to what I read here and what I have been reading, to give energy to all USA. And when the bankers, Morgan and who else it was some of the rich people in USA that had been investing in Tesla's ideas, when they found out that it's really true that he could provide all the USA with free energy from one tower, one single tower, then they withdraw immediately. And that shows us also what's happening today, because it's all a matter of money. And not only money, because you could have had free energy, but that was the problem. If people would have free energy and, you know, all the deserts could be green, Africa, no problem, all the EU countries, no problem, because they have free energy, then there would be no power games anymore. So money is actually a question of power. Okay, now I came into a subject I should keep a little bit back, but I find it really interesting subject, that we could actually have an abundance of energy, and we have solutions that we could have all the world saved actually. But because of these power games, we don't do it. So Tesla, he was cut out of the history books. You hardly can see him anywhere. And all his investigations and all his papers and all his ideas has been taken from the US Army when he died. Okay, we're going to the photons. When we are harvesting energy for ourselves, what will we do? For our immune system, we will do like in the Wardenclyffe Tower. There is a kind of transformer or a receiver. Now, I'm not an engineer, just bear in mind that. But we have a receiver, and that's the pineal gland sitting inside the head of that small person. And what can we receive with that receiver? We can receive light from the sun, and it's going through the skin, through the eyes, according to science. Some people say it can also go through here. That's up to the skin, but because it can go into the pineal gland. So directly we can get energy from the light. We know that the light, we have to take care of the UV light, because it can also be healthy. We can get a lot of D vitamin, but it can also create mutations. And especially if you put sunscreen cream on it, because there's aluminum, and that will give you a cancer in longer terms. It can do that. But also the UV light can do it. So in moderate doses. But in the morning and the night, it's perfect. Sunset, first hour, and the sunrise, of opposites. Yeah, sunrise, the first hour. You know, the last hour before sunset and the first hour after sunrise. There we have the infrared light, and that's the healing light. It cannot harm you. But sun gazing, I'll not get into it, but you can do sun gazing there. That we'll hear about later. So we have a light source. So we are like plants, we can take the light in. So we have the other source, the indirect source, where we have plants and water. The water is also a carrier of energy. It's actually what gives us energy. The water, the good water is full of energy. It's a carrier of energy. It's not like only the minerals in this, it's simply how much energy is there. If there's no energy in the water, a plant will die if you give water to it. So food full of energy, because it's also taking the sun and the photons inside, and we take it into our electromagnetic field. Then another thing, the third thing is the breath. We can take photons in through the breath. Oxygen, of course, but also the photons are coming in. And here, I must say there's no scientific results about this, but it's my own idea. But I feel it's correct when I've been trying it. It is that when you sing and you open yourself, like open your mouth, you open when you really open and surrender with your sound, you harvest energy. Why? Because when you open yourself, when you open the voice, you open the breath, because the voice is a mirror of your breath. It's an expression of how you just draw the last inhalation. And now you'll see I'm keeping my hands on the stomach now, and that I would like you to do too. And you see the stomach should move inwards when you breathe. It's simply a sound from the stomach. We don't care how we sound. Don't judge yourself. You can have many strange sounds from your stomach coming up, and you'll be surprised what it has to say to you. And that's actually what you're going to, I would like you to work on until next webinar, that you will use the stomach, breathe in. It's good to do it through the nose because it's heated up and it's going through all the nerve system up here when you do it through the nose, the breathe in. All the oxygen will come up to the brain. If you do it through the mouth, it's straight down here. And then just play with it. There will be more, but that's number one. You can practice. Until next time. There'll be more here. So when we open our mouth, and in the end, we will have the note from heaven. It means that it will be like this. You know, I won't take all the time. It's the usual thing. I'm doing this long notes, but you can do that too. When you practice enough, you will be able to do it on the note from heaven. Next time, we're going to do the note from heaven and go really into it, that you can do it. But you have to make these rehearsals with your stomach first, because if you're not breathing in, that the stomach will go out like big and then pushing in when you sing, then you'll have not enough grounding. We have to come back to this here. When you open your mouth, then, and you sing like this, what I just did, surrender to the note, then all your cells will do it too. Because our energy system and also the immune system is like, you know, the Russian babushka, like the wooden doll, that there are many dolls inside it. And so the energy system of your body will be the same energy system as like into your cell. Bruce Lipton is talking about the input and output and the processing in the middle. We are simply electrical systems like all kind of other things. So when we breathe and we open up, we are showing who we are. And that's all about this, to be true. Let the true voice come out, that you will not have, you know, oh, I want to sound like this star or that star. You can be inspired from them, but open yourself up and let yourself be the one you are. I bet you're beautiful. You're very beautiful. No one is not beautiful when they open their voice. I've never seen somebody that I wouldn't, I mean, I'm like this when people open up. So please, it's only your own restrictions that will make you fall. So when you do this, then you will attract the energy that your system exactly needs. And you will be full of energy. And when your body is full of energy, then, I don't know if you can see this, it's a lot of, yeah, I hope you see, this is energy fields around. It's like your magnet. Then, when your energy is, when you're filling up your matrix and pulling it in energy into it, then it doesn't need so much energy from outside. And that means also, and this is a theory, I didn't stand under a 5G antenna doing this, but I could imagine, and there's also theories from physicians, that a system that is saturated with energy will not attract energy from outside. I've also seen that from a lot of cancer patients that I have worked with, and they sing daily. The one that is surviving and keep the cancer down, all of them, they were really on this thing. They could feel it was doing them well, and they sang daily the note from heaven, half an hour at least, and they kept the cancer down. You have to go to the root of the things. You have to detox. You have to do all kinds of things to get it to stop. That's a bigger story, and I'm not telling that I can cure this, but you can keep it down because you can strengthen the immune system to manage things. Okay, we have this here, the energy system, and you see all the photons around here. They're only activated when we call for it. And that's the same thing when we pray, when we open ourselves with a voice, we call, please give us some energy. And see, my long arms, I'm reaching out, and the energy will go down. The same thing if you want to ground yourself, it's going both inside this way, you know, the energy is going like this round, like your magnet, but it's also going opposite. There are many different systems, in electrical system, and there's also the spiraling one. You can play with that, meditate on different things. There are many ways to do this. But anyway, when we sing, we are asking to get energy, and we get the energy down. It's coming naturally because your system will start to attract the energy, and you get more energy than you would do without singing. Actually, our body is non-stop receiving protons, and that's why we're alive, because it's not inside us, the life is around us. So we're in constant communication with the universe, actually. So this, if it would go opposite, like from here out and down, and then we will ground ourselves. And now that you can see this guy, he's standing like this with the arm, you know, like this. And this one is to get energy. This one is, okay, we calm down, quiet, take it easy. So that's when we're grounding ourselves. And then the energy system will go the other way. The grounding is very important, most important thing. And that's why we have to breathe with the stomach. You cannot reach the note from heaven without breathing with the stomach. So that's why you have to practice this until next time. Your voice will simply stop. It will hurt your voice if you don't do it with the stomach. And actually what's happening is that your lungs are filled up with air and it's pushing down. You have a full breath and it's pushing down the stomach that it will get big and all the inner organs. And it's also giving yourself a very good massage. All the inner organs are massaged. So, and that's also very important because when we sing, we now have to make further self-healing. So we had this with a note from heaven. I brought this paper bag. This is the new way to say it, but you can see, I mean, why not open the bag and fill it up with energy instead, like this, then like this, you know, standing like this, I'm not good enough, you know, it hardly can get in there. So open up, you are good enough. We are many people having this traumas not being good enough. We all had restrictions when we were kids, but in this webinar we had not this problem. So we're going on. I just want to show you that he has a pineal here, and the pineal gland is the pineal. Usually people say that the third eye is here, but it's actually inside the brain. And I've been drawing this here. Again, I'm not a specialist. Oh, it's falling off. I'm not a specialist, but if you imagine that you have a bird's head inside your brain, maybe like this, a bird's head, and in the neck is the pineal gland. It's here. And here's the neck of you, and the reptile brain, and the pineal gland is in the neck of the bird's head, and in the beak there is the hypothalamus, and out of the beak is hanging an opposite heart. That's the pituitary. Hypofysen på dansk. So it's hanging, and it's actually not exactly here, it's more inside. And if you would look inside yourself, you have actually the nasal cavity up here inside. Try to say that, you can feel it. That's the nasal cavity up as far as you can. If you would say hung, ha, ha, will lift the soft inside. I can remember the inside your mouth. It will lift, and you will actually activate the pituitary, because when you lift and go into the nasal cavity, can you make the sound? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Maybe it's good I can't hear you. Then this sound will go straight up into the pituitary. Actually, there's a very thin skin wall there, and it's going straight into the central nervous system, the bird heads. It's like this. It's a little bit smaller than my hand, and it's in the center is the pineal gland, in the center of the brain. This pineal it's actually a cone. And now you see what I've made here for you. You see this? This is, it's a symbol of a pineal gland. It's a cone, and it's calcified. I put some paint on it, but just that you can see it. It looks actually like a calcified pineal gland, just much bigger, because the pineal gland will be on the size of a small pine knot. It's very tiny, but the problem is that the pineal gland is getting so fast calcified, much more than the other glands and the rest of the body and the brain also. Why? Because it's not protected by the blood-brain barrier. It's like that's all the other organs are protected by this, but the pineal is not protected, and it's standing in the middle of the bloodstream in order to be able to communicate immediately. Because for me to say, there are some people saying, oh, it's nothing, the pineal gland is nothing. That's because it's a tradition now that the elder times it was very, very highly estimated also among the Egyptians, but after they made anatomy, they said, oh, it's just a gland, and no interest in that. But it's actually the transformer of energy to the body. So Jesus say, don't put your light under a bushel, because you should put your light in top of the mountains, or that everybody can see it, see your light. You know, we're standing on top of the mountain and singing, but we also have to take off this calcium, this hat. It's calcium, it's fluoride especially. Yeah, I won't be friends with the dentist. It's not good. Fluor is going straight to pineal. It loves the pineal because the pineal gland is a crystal. It has crystals inside, and it's a receiver just like they used to have it in the radios. And you know, all the crystal they use for sending signals. So it has its properties, and it's calcified. I mean, there was some scientific result from 8 till 16 years, 33% of the children already had a calcified pineal gland. It's much worse now than it was because of the pesticides, glyphosate and so on. I won't go into details, but the glyphosate helps the aluminum and the calcium to get into cells and into places that it should not be. And that's why the glyphosate is not so poisonous by itself, but in a cocktail effect, it's really poisonous. So it is poisonous, you understand? Because it will always go into a system. So it's Stephanie Seneff. She knows a lot of this if you want to know more about it. She's a senior scientist from Boston. Anyway, this thing can make many, many different sufferings. And I found out that you can simply take away this calcium, fluoride, and so on with the sound hum. And I found out about it because I'm now 58 and I'm in the menopause. And when it started, I thought, I will manage everything. I am so spiritual, you know, and manage everything. I was sitting and I was like, I feel the moods going up and down and up and down. And it took me 1 year before I thought, okay, maybe I should try to sing it away. I really felt pain in all my body. And why is that? Is because we have toxins in our body. And when we go into menopause, we're going to release all these toxins because the calcium is starting to get out of the body when you get in menopause. So also the lead was, and that was very painful. By one night, after singing Hong Song on all my glands in the body, my hormonal glands, endocrine system, I've had no pain in my body since then. And I have had totally different sleep, because when this is purified, it's going to be secreting melatonin, more melatonin, and melatonin is a very strong antioxidant. Again, very good for the immune system. Plus, you get a deeper sleep and a much better detox of the body. The body is very, very strong and it can detox itself. And it did with me because it simply got rid of all the toxins in one night. Now I have been detoxing with DMSA and strong medicaments before, because I had some Lyme disease, and I got rid of by detoxing from toxins. Other story. But this took all the pain in my body. I mean, it was really clearly pain one night, and I got a big like boil here, or tumor, whatever you call it. It's the tonsils that was swollen, and I took it away with some raw onion. And now we're coming to the raw onion. It was 24 hours I went with the raw onion, not here, and it's sulfates inside the onion that's pulling out the toxins. You can pull out toxins from your body if you have a tumor or something, or you have a thing. Put onion or put cabbage. It can suck out the toxins. Anyway, this pineal gland, we just say this because it's more easier than a small pine nut, can also secrete sulfates, and that I have from Stephanie Seneff. It's doing it, it's creating sulfate from sunlight. That's why you should have a lot of sunlight. You have to be outside. Don't start and train inside. It's good you're training, but outside training is much better because you get the light. And from the light, this pineal gland will create also sulfate, and the sulfate is escorted together with the melatonin in the night out to all the nerve system inside the brain and into the cerebrospinal fluid that's going into it's all the ventricles of the brain, like the lakes and the rivers of the brain, and also going down through the spine here. We assume it's doing that because it's linked together and it's like a big river system. So if you don't have a purified pineal gland, the body cannot detox, and then it's a bad circle. Not only this, it's also going into it's also influencing the circadian rhythm. The circadian rhythm is I have a picture of it actually. Let me just show you. Here it is. From my book. Look here, straight. I had to go do the opposite, you know, mirror in order that you can read. But the circadian rhythm is a rhythm that also the pineal gland is responsible for. So I mean, not very important. It's simply the conductor of all the orchestra of the body, all the trillions of cells we have. Each cell has its own rhythm, and the rhythms in each organ should be organized, and all the organs should also, like the group of the cellos or the group of the violins or whatever you will call it, from the liver and the spleen or whatever, they have to be coordinated with each other. And when we're in balance, everything is, all the rhythm is coordinated. When this one is getting out of balance, and when we have problems in the energy systems coming inside and attacking our energy system, like for example, if we get 5G, the system is not used to it. Some people say we can heighten our energy from it. Thank you very much. I hope that's true. But we have an energy system that is well functioning. It doesn't need to have another kind of energy for functioning. It's actually a big challenge for the immune system that the 5G or even 2, 3, 4G will come in. That's why you actually should be very careful not to have Wi-Fi open, at least not when you're sleeping. Because then the energy, the radiation will come in certain places when you sleep, and you won't move, and that's not good for the body. So stop the phone, the mobile phone, the microwave oven, all microwaves, close it completely in the night. And I tell this because I've tried it on my own body. We had a smart meter in the house without I knew it, and we got very sick. I'm not going too deeper into that, but we got sick without knowing that it was there. So it's not, I could not tell you that's psychological. But why I tell you is because I have a lot of people that's contacting me. And normally people think I'm getting crazy because I'm so upset about what's going on. I will not be upset. Oh no, I'm really an angel. But I can tell you that there are people suffering out there, seriously suffering. And there are people that they cannot get a real diagnosis of what's wrong because it's not found. There's no diagnosis called electrohypersensitivity if you can't take the high radiation. If your system cannot take it, you must be something wrong with your brain, and usually the doctors don't know what to do with you, and sometimes I've heard stories that they send to psychiatric treatment and get medicine, and people, they don't know what is wrong with them, so they say yes. And even a person that is now a very bad situation, a very known musician actually, saxophone player, he got electrohypersensitivity and was sent to psychiatric treatment, and they gave him electroshock. So I think it's really important to tell people that it's not you there's something wrong with, it's the environment. Anyway, it's terrible. Treat people losing their hair. It's from the toxins. It can be the mercury. Mercury will lose your hair. You can also be very easy upset. It's going to the nerve system. So it's very easy just to get psychiatric treatment instead of getting detoxed. And this is another problem, that we have no diagnosis called chronic toxification with heavy metals. It's not found, and the doctors are not educated in it. And we need badly that the doctors will do this, because it's a serious thing, and we have to manage ourselves right now. Okay, I have to go on with what I have taught to tell you. So we have the pineal gland here, and the way you can detox this calcium is to learn to say this sound. Hung, hung, hung. The huh will lift the soft palate inside the mouth and the nasal cavity as high up as possible, because we need to get all the way up here. And then forget about the hung. When you have said huh, it has lifted, then you say the ng, and you like pushing into the bone actually of the brain. It's like a cat that got a mouse, you know, or the purring. Or maybe some of you would prefer that it's a drill. I don't know. It can sound very strange in the beginning, and if you focus this sound in a place in your body, you will actually be able to make it vibrate. And that's what we're going to do with the pineal in a moment. Anyway, if you close your ears, the different thing is when you sing out loud, like ah, you can try it. Ah, did it sound loud inside your head? Probably not. I didn't do it with me. I can hear it, but it's not very loud. But if you sing the hung sound and close your ears, I got paint on my ear here, then you will be able to hear it very loud inside your head. So this is an inner undertone. And for me, that's when I found that was it. That's what I've been looking for the self-healing thing. You can, with your focus, simply just have to focus on any place in your body, and you sing this sound. It will start to vibrate in there, and you can practice, and you'll be better and better to do it. So you can actually, what I think is happening is that it's this kind of energy, like it's like a masculine energy. Like if you do it on with the closed mouth, like, ng, and then close it with the m, it's more horizontal. So it's more like a balancing thing. I use it to balance the two hemispheres of the brain, whatever you have to balance, shoulders, liver, no, the kidneys, and whatever there are two of. Or you can use it for a scanning your body and to get grounding. I use the ng like an attacking thing. It's like a drill, like the dentist drill, and I go into, for example, the pineal. We can try it now. We don't go through all the hormonal system. We'll do that next time, because it's good that you have opportunity to practice a little bit. I just have to tell you that when we're doing it, you might have a strange feeling, because could be strange sounds coming out of it. It will hit something there, because we probably all of us have things to purify. So when you hit it, it can be very strange sounds coming out. But of course, you have to be aware of that. You're closing and you're doing it in the nose. You should not sing ah. You should say it's not really a singing. It's like you could also feel like you're a crocodile. Now that's the open one. That's not, so it's not a crocodile. It's a inside purring. Okay, we tried. So you close your eyes. Take a deep breath into the stomach. Feel the stomach going out when you breathe in with your hands on the belly. Exhale. So we take again. And then we focus now, while you have a break in the breath, on the pineal. And then one more time. We will not do this too long, because you can be tired. And I didn't start yawning yet, but if I would go on with the hypothalamus and the pineal and the pituitary, remember that the pineal is in the neck of the bird's head inside, and it's in the center of the brain. And you have to imagine this. You have to imagine something to get it. And you can tell them, how can I do that? You can. You just have to play with it. Don't be too serious. Play with it. And lay down, for example, tonight or other days, and put your feet in the ground, that you have the grounding while laying down. You can feel your back, the spine, and then try to do it. Get in contact. Try to get in contact with other parts of your body, but the pineal, the hypothalamus, and the pituitary. Try it and play with it. Don't do more than 2-3 minutes at the same place at a time, because if you overstimulate it, it's not good. So we have this was the last thing I had this here. Forgot to say this, that the pineal gland is actually also it doesn't like the radiation, of course. And some of the people that have electrohypersensitivity, they're simply, you know, you can have damage from the radiation. So if you start to feel, you know, all this itching in your skin, headaches, heart beating, some people have nose blood. My son had nose blood for years until we found out that's from the Wi-Fi. We you know, we loved, like everybody else, to have Bluetooth and all this. Until we found out when we closed the Wi-Fi, he has no more nose blood. The doctors couldn't stop it. He couldn't do anything. He had for years. So I mean, it has impact on us. If you are very tired, and you will see you'll have much higher energy when this is clean. And there are crystals inside it, as we said. And some of the hats, the things that will get out of you when you start to detox, is aluminum, fluoride, calcium, and chlorine, for example, also sitting there. And in order to get it out nicely, I would like to, as I can only advise you to do this, but don't eat toxins. I mean, it's poison. So we have to eat organic. There's no choice. And also, you have to be outside to get some light. And something else is the grounding. And the grounding you get from walking barefoot or making kitchen garden, go and work in the ground. If you have not a garden, then go into the nature somehow. Walk at seaside, in the sand, winter bathing, things like this. We need grounding. And also, if you're in these Corona days, we can be up and down with the mood. I don't know if you noticed, but I have, at some days, I'm really happy with the situation, all what's going on here. I love it. Other days, you can all of a sudden get a little bit sad. So it helps to go out and put some seeds in the ground and do your own food. I think that's the future. Anyway, the pineal gland is the antenna. It's also giving us all kind of inspiration, inputs. And of course, if some people would have a hat all the way down, they cannot, let's say that something you think is obvious, they can't see it. Because if you have that on your pineal gland, I mean, it's like being blind. So the ethics, it's such a low state right now, I believe, because people have this hat down on their spiritual part up here. So of course there's no God, we just have to be greedy, because we are only in duality when we are in this state. We cannot see the oneness, and that we're all connected in the electricity system with the photons. We are all one. We are all one connecting system. And the pineal is the entrance for us it's the key to connect with the oneness. So that's why it's so important. So it's an antenna, it's a key for the intuition, For navigation, the birds, you see, they can't find their way when the radiation is coming in and disturbing their pineal gland. They are also poisoned from all the pesticides. And then there's the circadian rhythm. That's also a part of when you have a jet lag. And that's also the symptoms you can get when you have the pineal gland out of balance. All this chronic fatigue, all this, these girls, also some boys laying after getting the HIV vaccination, cannot do nothing. They can even not lift their arms, laying there for years. And they are getting a diagnosis like they're psychologically, mentally sick. Then there's the detox of the cells, and then it's a transformer of light. So practice for next time the breathing, stay outside, and also take some dandelions and some stinging nettles. You can make tea or you can eat it as spinach. It's delicious because it's purifying your liver and your kidneys, and it's right time now, at least if you're in this part of the world. If you're sitting in Australia, maybe it's not the right time for it, or Africa, but here in Denmark and in the north, you can have them everywhere right now. So take it in, because if you will have toxins free from your body, it's really important that your liver, your kidneys, and your gut will be well functioning. If it's not, you know, the body will not detox more than you can take when it's a natural process. But if you would take tablets, you really have to take care of this. This is the basic. The gut has to work. Now I think we have time for questions, and I hope you've been able to hear me out there. So if anybody having some questions, you can write now. Let's see if anybody's coming in. Oh my good. I can see now I have to pull it down. It's my first time. So thank you, Stockholm, everywhere. Oh my God. I just see what's written here. What plant? Somebody would ask the name of a plant. Yeah. What herbs I was talking about? I was just talking about the brandenelle, the stinging nettle, you know, the one that is burning you. It's a very normal one that you're taking up as a weed. And the dandelions, I think it's called in Danish, it's mælkebøtte. I don't know how to say it. It's the one, the yellow flower with the it's kind of, you can eat the flower, you can eat everything of it. And it's Barbara Wren, a nurse that wrote, in Danish, it's Boneseller. She's from England. She wrote many books, Barbara Wren. She is telling to eat 7 a day, I think. Just pick it and eat it. Take one by one. But you get used to it. It's actually tasty in a salad if you put it together with the right things. Yeah. Yeah, the tablet I've been taking was the DMSA. I have written a book that's called Help. Where is it? Here it is. Very lucky. It's here. This is Help. I made it in Danish, but I might. It's actually translated now to English. It's so it's coming later. And in here is the recipe. I got it from a doctor, and I wanted the medical doctors to, the physicians, to write this book for years, because I was helped by a recipe with a DMSA. The problem with DMSA that it's actually conventional medicine, but it's very, very effective because it's pulling out the toxins from inside the cells. Because that's a problem. The body can't normally, not if the pineal is calcified, it can't get rid of the toxins that are inside the cells, and they are creating an autoimmune reaction. So that's could be the explanation why we have so many autoimmune illnesses. But as long as nobody wants to look at the doctors or the medical industry don't want to look inside the cells, they won't find the reason for it. And then they can sell a lot of medicine. Yes, I just look. Yes, I said no fluor in the 10. Yeah, I'll just see what's more written. If I will consider to make an ebook, yeah, I will. I will consider it. I just don't know how to do it. I'm not really good with all these techniques. That's so why I was so nervous if this would function tonight, because I have really a trauma about technical stuff. But we will see if we can find somebody that can make an ebook. We can do it. Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's working brilliant. Thank you. You're so sweet people. And oh, you're so, I love you. I'm yours. You're so cute out there. Next time we are going to sing the note from heaven, and we'll do it more like I will come with a tambura and we will sing together. And we will also do the Hong song, and I will guide you through all the hormonal system. And would also like to know how it works for you. I hope I can read all these comments after here. I can't do all now, just see. What is, yeah, I think now again, somebody is asking if we can see the webinar again, and I will keep it. I mean, there was a function saying it's recording it, and I'm going to see if I somehow can share it. So I will put it in our page, in our Gila Live page, if I like it. If I'm not looking too bad, no, but if it's okay, and I will share it in Facebook maybe. Yeah. Some person is asking if it's half an hour enough to sing the note from heaven. You know, enough is what you feel is enough. You should never do it like more than you feel okay with. But of course, you have to get over in the beginning, it can be a little bit hard to get into it, and that you will surrender. So you always have to give it 10-15 minutes, and then sometimes you can't stop. I could sit, like when I started to do it, 2-3 hours sometimes, because you get energy, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I just felt great. And also dopamine, and also oxytocin, all kind of very good hormones are released. But for example, in the car is a great place to do it. If you don't have a place you can sing freely, and if you don't have a car, you do it in the nature, or tell the neighbor that you're practicing, or you meditating with a voice, that they know it, so you don't have to be worried about it. Oh my goodness, so many questions. There's a person that's asking if I believe that problems with the mitochondria, which are the powers, the nucleus, the power center of the cell. They ask if it can be helped with DMSA. I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I know if they are burned inside there, and if they cannot communicate, I believe that if you purify your pineal gland, then the energy system will heal what is needing to be healed. The DMSA is a strong chelator, and that will pull out all the minerals of it's like a magnet coming in and saying, we're pulling it out of cells and taking it out. And in the recipe that I got from a doctor that is not daring to share it because the police can come and take their authority, they're not allowed to share how you detox. But I got the recipe, it helped me, and it's the cheapest way you can do it, buy tablets. But there's a risk that you can be sensitive if you're allergic to this DMSA. So you have to take one tablet. It's described in my book, which you can't get in English, but in Danish. But take one tablet to see how you react. some people have very strong reaction. That means that you're allergic to it, or you have so many toxins in your body that you can't, it's too strong for you, for your liver. Your livers cannot take it, and your kidneys. So there's a problem there. And also something else, take out, if you have any mercury in your teeth, it's first thing, get it out. It's not only poisonous, it's also destroying your teeth, because it's slowly it's cracking the teeth. When you get old, they say, oh, your teeth are old, they're cracking. It's the mercury that's doing it. So get them out, because if you will detox the DMSA, it will pull out the toxins from your mercury fillings, and that will create more toxins inside you. It's a long story, but you have to be really careful with that. We have a percolator coffee in aluminium pot, each model probably not so good. No, I mean aluminum you have to really take care of. They put it in the vaccines also now, and that's why that was what worried me the most, if we were going to be forced to have vaccinations, because the aluminum is so poisoning, and it's going together with the glyphosate. Aluminum and glyphosate, it fits perfectly together, the minus the plus thing together, and it looks like something is not dangerous for the body. It can go and take the space of glycine in the proteins, and looks like, and then the proteins cannot be recognized anymore, and starts to, inflammation and all these things, cancer and all this can happen. So aluminum is really bad. Now it's 9 o'clock, so the last question, I just go down and see what there is. Yeah, if the ADHD could have something to do with the pineal gland and poison the body, certainly yes, and I can't recommend Stephanie Seneff enough. She is into autism, and I think also ADHD, she's mentioned in her books anyway. They're healing people out there by detoxing them, but it's she's sued by Monsanto because of the glyphosate thing, and people that dares to stand up and say these things have a hard time, and you can even have a hard time from your own friends that you thought would agree with you, because many people are scared to see what's happening. And that's understandable, because it's really not so beautiful what's going on there. But at the same time, it's not so beautiful to see how people are suffering. And that's why, I saw so many people that are suffering that because I wrote this book, helped, so many people were contacting me. So my reality is like this, that I have to react on it. But to keep the balance at the same time, and that you do by keeping your immune system going strong. So light, sing, breathe with the stomach. Thank you very much. And see you next Sunday. I hope you will be there. And I'm so happy for all you that participated. Oh my God, we're not alone, huh? Thank you. I love you. And I have to remember things. The surprise was, and I'm afraid to put the link inside here because I don't know how to ship the picture, but we have a song, and I want to thank you. I don't know if Virginie is here, and many of the people that was joining there, but I loved some of the people they are imitating and singing, and they're in this film too. So it's in YouTube now, and it's called May God Bless You. So I say, may God bless you. Thank you, my dear friends. Bye-bye.